Firstly, start from the top. If you've got one takeaway from this entire session, it's the fact that employee engagement is not just a one time initiative, it's an entire workplace culture shift. And it has to start from the leadership teams. The crux of employee engagement is dependent on the kind of culture and the kind of tone that the leadership teams of the organization set, because it's the basis on which they communicate with other cross-functional teams. It's the basis on which the HR teams also create practices, culture codes, or even the basis on which other managers inside the company set the ground rules for interactions that happen within the organization. And all of that has to come from the leadership teams, because the manager-reportee relationship is considered to be the biggest driver of employee engagement. Now, this is the main reason why leaders of the organization, including even the management teams on the middle level, are all really important pieces of this puzzle. That's because managers who foster good workplace relationships, the ones who keep regular check ins, like Dalia mentioned, and keep checking up on their employees to understand exactly how they feel constantly and what they can do to improve their experience within the organization, to improve their work environment, and to enable them to actually reach their goals, is something that can only happen when the manager and the reportee have a very solid relationship, right? So, how do they do that? By maintaining transparency. Throughout the employee life cycle, the manager has to be giving that relevant space to the employees, that they should be able to come out and voice their opinions, voice their concerns, talk to them about any kind of problem that they face within the organization. Am I getting enough resources? Do I need any additional tools to do my work? Do I need any kind of a course that helps me learn things that I need in order to achieve what is expected out of me? These are things that can only happen if the employee feels comfortable enough to raise those concerns with their managers. And that has to be maintained all throughout the employee's life cycle, right from when they join the company till they leave the company. There has to be transparent communication to understand why certain things are taking place, right? And when these employees voice their concerns, the primary and complicit responsibility that comes with leadership is to take action upon it. So this is something that has been repeated all throughout the course of this session, I'm sure, that taking action is the most imperative step of maintaining employee engagement. Whenever an employee comes out and tells you something of a concern, whenever it is validated and understood that this is something that really causes a problem within the organization, the only way that we can continue to keep building trust within the organization is if the leaders of the organization, the HR and the business leaders, they take action upon it and they drive that kind of a workplace culture where transparency and feedback actually matters, you know. And this process has to be a continuous wave all throughout the year, because and also this has to take place all throughout the company on every single level, not just from the leadership team's perspective, but even every single individual employee has to own it and maintain that kind of a culture within their interactions on the organization as well. Now, doing all this, we can't 100% say that you can achieve 100% engagement within your company, but it is imperative that we try, because companies that try will get rewarded with employees that see the effort.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sanya.
No, go ahead, Dalia. I was going to.
Yeah, I want to share Peter Drucker's quote, right? So Peter Drucker is the father of modern management, but to me, he's a philosopher of modern management. So he said the task of leadership is to make people capable of joint performance, to make their strengths effective and their weaknesses irrelevant. Now, engagement is not about policies. It's about unlocking human potential, making people feel seen, valued, challenged, and part of something that matters. In a world obsessed with speed, what employees crave hasn't changed, which is the meaning, the mastery, trust, and contribution. Now, great companies today like Netflix prove that engagement is not built by control or perks. It's built through high trust, high freedom, and high expectation. So all this that you just shared, Sanya, taking action and all that, that's all. First, the foundation is trust. When you take, when you check in, you want to build trust. When you maintain transparency, you also build trust. When you take action, the congruency, and you repeat, that maintains the trust. So, great companies, they hire adults. They give context, not control. They reward courage, not compliance. They hold people accountable, and they celebrate real ownership. So in today's world, real engagement means handing people the keys to their own success and expecting them to drive with excellence. Leadership's job is simple and hard. Create trust, set standards, inspire belief, then get out of the way. And when you do that, people won't just perform, they'll fly, they'll be happy, they'll thrive, and they'll stay. So that's my last comment to add on to your point, Sanya.